Greetings, everyone. Glad to have you here with us on this Wednesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. When you think about the great teams that we have seen and the great seasons that we have watched over the many decades, where do you think historically Boston's season will be placed?
The greatness of the Celtics can be measured in any one of their players can win an MVP, whether it's Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday. They all have the ability, and Kristaps Porzingis, to all win individual accolades, but what makes them so great is they can sacrifice and be one for each other. You think about starting fives, the 2017 Warriors, the 24, 25, 25, 26 Celtics. For years to come, this Celtics group has a chance to compete.
And now the Golden State Warriors starters. In the backcourt, we'll see Curry and Podziemski. Jimmy Butler is out there with Trace Jackson-Davis. And it's MP in at the small forward. Well, you may have heard MP just signed his... Oh!
My goodness. Oh, my goodness. Jason Tatum, you've got to be kidding me. How pretty was that?
Awesome display of athleticism captured by our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. And as the salary cap looks set to rise significantly, Shams, any major effects that you can anticipate?
It won't be like the year the Warriors signed KD. They're going to smooth the cap numbers, and it's not going to spike quite the same. But these numbers will continue to get eye-popping when you think about player salary, and you have to keep in mind luxury tax and the new second apron that came into play with the collective bargaining agreement, and that will play a part in how teams build, not putting yourself in a restricted position to continue to build winning organizations.
A lot of moving parts to contend with, but boy, a lot on the horizon. Curry passes to MP. Comes up empty down low.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
Here's Tatum. Tatum with another miss.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And it goes down 2 points.
Talk about hitting the ground running. 4 for 5 to start.
For the Warriors, they won their last contest, that game against the Wizards in Washington.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
I thought what really stood out was how dominant they were on the offensive end. That was about as flawless as you could hope for.
You know, Shams, I don't know how many kids grow up thinking they're going to be an NBA insider, but clearly that is something that you probably thought about at one time or another. Did you think that was going to be your path?
Kevin, I knew at the age of 16 years old what I wanted to do, and this path I wanted to take an insider for the NBA because I loved playing basketball, I loved writing, and I had a genuine passion for transactions, for the behind-the-scenes stories. So to be able to tell that story to the fans, I feel like I am one of the fans. That's why I feel like I can relate to the fans, and so that's what inspired me mostly to take this career path that I've taken.
They're so connected. It is a pleasure reading you and hearing you.
Kevin, appreciate you so much, and just know the stories will keep coming.
4 on the shot clock. And Tatum pulls it down.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
I think expect them to go back to it because that's the kind of shot this offense is designed to generate.
The jump hook, and it's off the back rim, no good.
Well, this guy cannot get started, and the offense overall has been a struggle because of it.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Celtics trail by 6. Mr. Porzingis. .107 left to play in the first. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse.
I tell you, at 7'3", to have that kind of body control, Kristaps Porzingis makes it look easy.
Curry finds MP. Outside for Curry. Good, and it's MP picking up the assist. MP's got 5 assists tonight. Here's Tatum. He's coming off a 25-point game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And you know, guys, the other thing I really appreciated about his effort in that game was the effort and work on the glass. What a well-rounded performance.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
One of the things you love about MP is his appreciation for the history of the game, studying the former great players, weaving their strengths into his game.
Different look here for the Warriors. Looney's checked in for Trace Jackson-Davis. Draymond Green comes in for Jimmy Butler. Jonathan Kuminga, he's checked in for Brandon Podziemski. And it's Buddy Hield in for Curry.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Tatum's got 5 now.
Gets one to fall, but only a second make in the first 7 attempts.
Hield from outside. Drills the three-pointer.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
It's been all about Stephen Curry for the Warriors. He finished.
Help him out. Mismatch. Help him.
And welcome back to the second quarter of action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Warriors.
Straight away, they've opened things up offensively with skillful passing, running smart plays, and just setting guys up for success.
Yeah, and their assertiveness in the paint so far tonight has been impactful. They're really making it hard for the interior defense.
Tatum in the front court alongside Horford. And it's Cornette in at the 5 spot. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Celtics. Well, the latest CBA introducing the second apron, limiting Shams what teams above the cap can do. How does that new rule affect teams?
Decision makers tell me that they're very much keeping an eye on the second apron, not only of their team, but others, and teams that will have to shed salary because of the second apron and the amount of big contracts we're going to see teams give to players. You're going to see it at the top, but that may dwindle in the middle of their roster. But we will see a more competitive league because of these new CBA changes and less of a chance of super teams and just more parity and dispersed talent.
Do you constantly read over some of these CBA agreements? I would assume that you do, to have a full understanding of terms like the apron, like we just talked about, or all the other things, the luxury tax, all the things that make deals possible.
It's one thing to have luxury tax. It's a whole nother animal now to have the second apron, and that certainly for teams that are deep in the second apron, that limits their ability to go make major trades, to be able to sign players for more than the minimum, and we're seeing that happen to at least 1 or 2 teams around the league right now. So how will that impact things? But certainly the CBA being 50, 60, 70 pages, that's something you pour through before every calendar year.
It is just fascinating. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, last season, Draymond Green got his three-pointer going again. He said, over the years, my shot took a dive. It was in large part because I couldn't get in and out of my hips. They were messed up. It was getting my movement patterns right. Kevin, my hips haven't been the same in years, but Draymond's are good, and now they've made him tough to deal with. Back to you.
Your hips are pretty good, David. I've always said your hip. Floor spacing, always critical. Good point, D.A. Hey, Shams, no one is keyed on the league like you. Is there an under-the-radar trend that you're seeing around the NBA, or the next thing that you're anticipating may happen with the way the league will sway one way or the other?
Talking to executives around the league, it's clear that length has been very important, but having players that do multiple things and are versatile, that is of the utmost importance right now. We saw what happened with the Celtics winning a championship this year. I think that certainly is going to have an impact on how teams are going to build moving forward. Like the Celtics, you want to have players, 3 to 5 players that are playing heavy minutes for you, that are doing everything out there on the floor, not just one particular move.
To end the run, and the shot goes down. Pritchard's got his first points of the game.
Well, the versatility he possesses makes him a very tough cover, guys.
Different look here for the Warriors. Trace Jackson-Davis is checked in for Kevon Looney. Jimmy Butler comes in for Draymond Green. Pajemski, he's checked in for Jonathan Kuminga. And it's Stephen Curry in for Heel.
Oh, to have young legs. MP gets off his feet in a hurry for that finish.
Pass to Brown. Brown jams it in.
This guy, one of the most elite athletes in the game, Jaylen Brown, finishes beautifully.
And Shams, what an absolute delight it has been having you courtside with all of us tonight. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. It has been a true pleasure.
Thanks so much for the invite. I can't wait to do it again sometime. I'm honored. I'm privileged.
Oh, we are going to hold you to that. Thank you again. Oh, wasn't that wonderful? Easy to see why Shams has so many sources around the game. He's so easy to talk to.
Yeah, it's all about relationships at the end of the day. When the conversations come easily, that suits his purpose as a reporter.
Brown outside. The three-pointer, no good.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Curry finds MP. Back to Curry. Golden State moving it around. And that one drops. 16 points for MP.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. White dishes to Holiday. Brown against MP. And stolen by Butler. Pass to Pajemski. Back to MP. Cloak loose. It's stolen by Brown. Fires away from outside. And no good on the last second attempt this time. And so it's the Golden State Warriors. Feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here.
We expected MP to put on a show. He's generated more highlights in one half than most players do in a season.
Look, I don't want to brag.
Taking a peek now at the up. That'll do it for our show.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. You look at MP in this one, he's been everywhere.
Something has kicked him into gear tonight as he has done work on the offensive end.
Boy, he's been aggressive looking for his shot. Remarkable effort on the offensive end in that first half.
Setting the floor for the Warriors. In the backcourt, we'll see Curry and Pajemski. Trace Jackson-Davis out there with Butler. And it's MP in at the three, the small forward.
This guy just can't find his rhythm, and you look up at the scoreboard, they absolutely need his productivity.
When a team, Doris, is on a losing streak, what lessons can be learned from that?
Now, Kevin, you know this. Losing streaks seem to be inevitable in the NBA. The season is too long to go through without some adversity. What I think you learn is grit and how to keep fighting even when you don't have your best game available.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Pass to Jackson-Davis. Inside, here's MP. 5 on the clock. The three. The shot by Curry, no good. Celtics trail by 19. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And that one is good.
Well, their first basket in 4 tries. Can that trigger a little bit of good shooting here? We'll find out.
GA, these Boston Celtics are unquestionably a top-tier offensive unit.
Stupendous shooting, excellent instincts with the ball. Yeah, they are a model offense in many ways, making it tough for many teams to keep up with them.
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through. Outside Holiday. Brown outside. And the rejection by MP.
Not how they hoped to start this half. 1 for 5, brick after brick. Let's start building the building.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a three-point opportunity.
The Warriors have not yet made a free throw in the game, 0 of 2 so far. Second free throw, no good. Greg, since reaching 5 consecutive NBA Finals, the Warriors have missed the playoffs 3 of the past 5 years.
And to be fair, they did go 46-36 last season. They were 10 games over 500 last year. So they weren't a bad team, but Golden State doesn't just expect to be in the play-in. They want to be a contender. Talk about a guy who never gives up. MP showing great effort.
Back to Brown. Lays it up and banks it in. Brown's got 8.
And you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
Here's Jackson Davis. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Nice D from Porzingis. Oh, he really broke up that transition opportunity. Looks like it'll be a transition take foul. And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Really a good season for him overall last year when you look at the number, 83% from the line.
Pritchard, he's checked in for Derek White. Green, he's checked in for Golden State. Kuminga comes in for Curry. Pass to Holiday. Fires the 3. Boston, no good that time either. And here's Green. He'll bring it up for Golden State. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points. The kick outside to Butler. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. The Warriors making a switch here. Spencer's checked in. Making a switch here. White's checked in. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Kuminga against Brown. To the middle. Here's Porzingis. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And when Porzingis goes to work inside, Doris, there are not a lot of answers for his side.
We know, Kevin, obviously, that post-ups become less and less a part of the game, but still an important one opportunistically. And you talk about efficiency in the post, that is Kristaps Porzingis. But not only that, the mid-range game is there, the three-point game is there, and the defense is there.
Holiday in the backcourt. To his side is White. The post pair. Tatum and Porzingis. And it's Brown in at the 3 slot. That's the Boston 5. Holiday with it. Kuminga picks him up. Brown against Payton. Here's White. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Well, Derek White fearless on the interior right there. Tremendous finish.
Outside, Kuminga. On the wing, MP. Guarded by Holiday. The three-pointer is right on target.
Heavy incoming from beyond the arc, a key part of their initiative this entire fourth quarter.
It feels like they have worked their perimeter game to perfection, swinging the ball, cashing in from the outside. What a performance.
Tatum wide open, he fires one. The shot's good, Brown making the play. Tatum's got 5 points in the quarter. Golden State's gotten off to a great start from three-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Warriors.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for MP.
Every time he shot it, it seemed like it was going to drop in. And if it didn't, everyone was surprised.
MP deciding where to go with it. Here's Green, and he converts the layup.
Saw the opportunity to put this away, and you could see the killer instinct take over.
And you want to save your best for last. Tonight, they've done that and then some.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. White, good.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
To the inside. Here's MP. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here.
That's what I'm talking about. They talk the talk, but you walk the walk.